Just this once. And I want to subscribe.
Card Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by GumGum.gg. Discover Western OP10 lists and Eastern OP11 lists on GumGum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, GumGum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So if you managed to happen to catch this video on Saturday before I took it down, I'm re-uploading it, the correct aspect ratio this time. I had to leave for the weekend for a couple days. I didn't have access to a computer, so I thought I'll just put the footage on my phone, I'll edit on my phone and I'll upload it. That was a horrible idea. So yeah, now that I'm back home, I'm gonna re-edit it the proper way, and then I took down the video pretty early, so maybe a lot of you haven't seen it already anyway, but yeah, I thought it would be nice. It's only like a day or two old, so yeah, hope you don't mind the re-upload. If you did catch it on Saturday, it's gonna look a lot nicer now, and I'm gonna go back in and change some of my thoughts too. So yeah, hope you enjoy. And then gonna be actually playing these new cards in upcoming videos this week, so be on the lookout for that. All right, thanks. Sorry. Alright, finally, these new starter decks are supposed to be releasing in 3 weeks. We have not yet seen any spoilers for these starter decks until today. They have revealed cards for the Purple Black Luffy leader and then the Blackbeard leader as well. Just first right off the bat, I want to take a look at the leader cards because they look pretty sweet. Look at this, Purple Black Luffy in all his glory. I do like the lightning sparkle effects. Purple and black are a very nice color combination in the first place, especially with this kind of blue white lightning thing, and Gear 5 Luffy looks amazing. It's a lot better than the derpy base art version of this card. And then Blackbeard also looking really menacing. His Yami Yami no Mi looks very like, I don't know, I like this like chromatic aberration, like the rainbow effect going on here. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, this art for all these leaders are like incredible. Like I like every single one of these actually. But yeah, they've revealed the entire deck list for these two decks, not just these cards here. These are just previews, so you can check it out here or in my deck builder. I already got it in here. So starter deck 26. Let's go over the cards. Well, the new cards. If you want to see what cards are included in the starter deck, I guess you could check the official website here, right? A lot of vanillas and stuff in case you want to know, but let's just take a look at the new cards. So we have a new Soba Mask character here. So yeah, in case you don't know, that's Sanji suited up. If you have a Sangoro or Sanji character with 7,000 power base power or more, give this character in your hand -5 cost. And then on play, return all your Sangoro and Sanji characters to your hand. He's a 7 cost 9k, so he's potentially a 2 cost 9k. How many Sanji characters have a base power of 7,000 or more? Okay, so if it's in purple, there's, I guess Sanji and Pudding doesn't count, but the Sanji from OP09 counts, which is like kind of tailor-made for this Purple Black Luffy deck anyway. And then in blue, we have the 9 cost Sanji in the same clothes. This can cheat something out. I guess you could bounce this back to your hand to cheat something out again, but I don't know if that is worth it. And then there's the OP11 Sanji, but yeah, I think it's meant for this guy, right? He even has like the Germa canister there. In case you don't know, right? That can that he's dropping there is what suits him up into this uniform. So I guess this bouncing that card back to hand makes sense. Like you're kind of like morphing into it, which is pretty good, right? So you have a 7k rush attack that can rest something, and then on the turn after you bounce it back to hand and then it turns it into a 9k, kind of vanilla essentially for 2 cost. But this card itself doesn't have rush, but maybe that's okay. That seems pretty sweet. This might be the top end for the deck, but whether that's better than like 9 cost Kaido or the 10 cost Secret Luffy at the moment is still up in the air, right? This is just a common, it's not the SR. Then we take a look at the next card. We have a Chopper Blocker, 3 cost 4k power 1k counter. On play, Dawn -2, you can rest up to one of your opponent's Dawn cards or characters with the cost of 1 or less. Hey, that's really good. We have a counter to Gungam Giant in the color that Gungam Giant is in. Okay. So yeah, the reason why we want to rest your opponent's Dawn is so that they don't get access to this event card that can counter for a bajillion damage. So yeah, in and of itself, just having it for that, this Chopper is great. He's also a blocker. Anyway, for 3 costs, it's not too much of a detriment. And 4k attack means that 1 Dawn means he can attack. And then Dawn -2, you get that Dawn back from your leader ability. Then you can rest a 1-drop. So there's a bunch of 1-drop like blockers in the set as well. Right, some annoying ones are Cosette and Reiju, Lucky and Kalgara, Apu and Green Yellow Law and Yellow Kid, Chopper and a bunch of red decks. This Law and then Bedge. We don't see Bedge too much anymore, but he's there. So yeah, this Chopper is very utility. There's also a new Robin card. So we did kind of predict that there would be a Robin card. Let's just look at how we speculated this card would look like. So this is what I cooked up. And in fact, she's wearing the same clothes in this card too. So hey, I get a point for that. So we thought this Robin was going to be like an attacking stat line, and then it ramps you a Dawn. So when you use your leader ability, you get the 2 back, and then you get +1 on top of that. This Robin similarly does that actually. So I think we can kind of give ourselves like half credit for this maybe. I didn't expect her to be a 2k though, but this is like an emergency, like the Zoro from the same deck, right? This one. So you -2 Dawn and you ramp 2 back +1. Robin does the same thing. I guess this kind of replaces Black Maria in the deck, because a lot of purple black Luffys do run Black Maria to similarly do the same thing, because you minus the Dawn and then at the end of the turn, because you +5 Dawn at the end of the turn, you match your opponent and then you ramp 1 Dawn from your leader ability. So yeah, instead of Black Maria, I guess we run Robin now, or maybe both. And yeah, Robin herself for 1 Dawn can become an attacker, same cost as Zoro, so makes it a lot more consistent to get your like first ramp on your 3 Dawn turn or 4 Dawn turn. You have a Frankie character, 8 cost 10k power. On play, Dawn -2, give up to 2 of your opponents -2000 power during this turn. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, -2 cost to 2 things is good, but you're spending 8 Dawn for this. You get 1 of it back as active, so you have 3 Dawn left over for your leader and your characters to attack into whatever you debuffed. Right, I think that is kind of hard to utilize. If this Frankie was like 7 or like 6 costs, maybe that would have made it better. Because yeah, like not only do you need other characters on board to already attack into your opponent's debuff characters, but you need Dawn to like guarantee that, right? If you -2 an 8 cost kid, he becomes 6k. You have 3 Dawn to attack over that 6k body. So yeah, I kind of wish he was cheaper. And then the SR of the set. Oh, what's the other SR? Oh, Robin was the SR. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like she's really amazing. Same with the Chopper. And then Luffy, 6 cost 7k, no counter. On play when attacking, Dawn -2. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn, your Straw Hat crew type leader's base power becomes 7,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. What the heck? This is a really defensive card. Yeah, the card we cooked up was a lot more offensive, right? It lets you play a 9 cost, lets you play a 5 cost Sanji from your discard to KO something, and he's a big stat line himself. This one's more like in the mid range. But yeah, it makes your leader a 7k base, and then you can even use that 7k base to attack with, so it's like offensive and defensive. But yeah, it's essentially a free 2k counter on every attack your opponent throws at you until your next turn. On top of, like, since you're Dawn -2, you get a Dawn back, so you can even Gungam Giant to counter up to 11k, right? You have an 11k leader. Yeah, this could just be what Purple Black Luffy needed to survive, because we do run a lot of bricks in this deck, right? This Luffy himself is a brick. If you want to try Soba Mask, he's a brick. The Zoro was a brick. The 5 cost Sanji is a brick, so I guess yeah, just having free 2k counter is nice in that regard. So yeah, I think this is actually a pretty nice buff to the deck. I do quite like these cards. These 3 in particular, right? I will have to see if Soba Mask is even playable. It kind of sounds like it is, right? 7 cost Sanji, rush, swing, tap something. Next turn, you swing 7, and then you bounce them back to hand and play out a 9 cost. Play out a 9k. And then you can even replay out the Sanji, right? Because on 7, you would have played that first Sanji, and then you'd be at 9 now. So 2 Dawn for this guy, and then replay out the 7 cost Sanji. I guess that makes sense. Is this how this deck's going to be played? Maybe I'm just off mark, and this is now a Soba Mask deck instead of a rush to like Secret Luffy deck, right? This card is good in this deck too, but maybe this isn't the way to play it anymore. And then the other starter deck is Teach. So we'll just take a look at all the cards in this deck, the reprints, really quick. So you get the standard package: Van Augur, Jesus, Shiryu, Stronger, Doc Q, Vasco Shot, Lafitte, and the stage. And then there's 5 new cards here, so let's go over the new cards. So we have Avalo Pizarro, 1 cost 1k power, 1k counter. Activate main once per turn, you may rest one of your full OLED cards. Okay, so another way to utilize your stage card without using your stage card. If your leader has a Blackbeard pirate's type, this character gains 4k power during this turn. On KO, draw a card. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know what slot it would fit in the deck, right? You would have to take out something good. But he does replace himself on death, and then yeah, it's a way to use your stage when your hand is already the way that you want it. But I don't know. I guess I don't think this card's gonna make it in the deck. I could be wrong, but I mean, it is a 1 cost 5k swing. Maybe, yeah, because it buys you time too, because your opponent has to swing into it with the character or leader. Maybe. I think this one, I'm on the fence. So I had time to think about Avalo Pizarro over the weekend, and I started to wonder, would I run this over Doc Q potentially? And maybe, yeah, because now that we have Van Augur into the 7 cost Teach, maybe we don't really need Doc Q. right? Doc Q with Van Augur still only kills like a 4 cost because he kills a 1 cost, right? So instead of Doc Q, having Avalo Bizarro as like a more aggressive and more generically useful card because you can always attack, right? You don't always have a target to kill with Doc Q. So maybe this card's a little better than I thought. We have Katarina Devon, 1 cost, 1k power, 2k counter. It's 2k counter. We need it for the Blackbeard deck, so this is going to be run for sure. Activate May, you can trash this character. If your leader has a Blackbeard power attack, give it to one of your opponent's characters minus 1 cost during this turn. On KO, draw a card. Okay, so yeah, another 1 cost that kills itself. Another 1 cost that replaces itself on death, which is already great in the deck. Gives minus 1 cost. I guess since it's a 2k counter, this is alright. Right, if you play it out on your first turn, your opponent kills it, you draw a card, so you don't lose anything. Your opponent doesn't kill it, you have minus 1 cost access for every turn that Katarina Devon stays alive. So yeah, I like it. First SR of the set is 6 cost, 6k power Kuzan blocker. On KO, play up to 1 Blackbeard Pirates type character with the cost of 5 or less from your trash arrested. Huh? So yeah, I guess this Kuzan can technically play out the other Kuzan. This one here. So yeah, that seems kind of annoying, right? So you kill this blocker and it brings out this guy who cannot be KO'd. He comes out rested though, so they have a chance to attack into him. So maybe Kuzan's not the target. I don't know. If you do Kuzan into Kuzan and he survives next turn, you swing for 5 and then you turn this Kuzan into like a Jesus Burgess. That seems pretty worth it because you also draw a card from this guy. But yeah, I think in the end, Kuzan's probably just going to cheat out like the Jesus Burgess in the end from your discard. So you have 2 ways to get to it, right? You have 2 Kuzans that bring this guy out. And I guess Van Augur is a play too. He's a slightly bigger body. And if he dies anyway, you draw a card. So yeah. So in a way, you can kind of consider the Kuzan to be like on KO, draw a card and potentially eat up an attack. And yeah, just having a blocker in the mid game might be nice. Makes your transition to your late game a lot safer. Oh, speaking of, we have another blocker here. San Juan Wolf, 4 cost, 6k power, 1k counter. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gains blocker and 1 cost for every 4 cards in your trash. And then on play, trash a card from your hand. San Juan Wolf, I forgot that. Your own leaders on plays don't activate. So he actually has no detriment. He's just a sticky blocker. So yeah, my opinion on him has changed as well. I wouldn't run him as a 4 of, maybe like a 1 or 2 of, just as something you can cheat out with either like this Kuzan or the 5 cost Kuzan when you need like a stickier blocker. Because Vasco Shot is like your premier chump blocker at the moment for the deck, right? You 5 cost Kuzan into him sometimes when you just need to survive an attack, but he's easily like KO'able and restable. So yeah, I do kind of get the merit of a San Juan Wolf in the late game being like a 10 cost, being unable to be dealt with as a blocker that outright just stops 1 attack that when you need it, right? So yeah, a lot better than I initially thought. And I would venture to see if like a 1 of this guy with all the searches and all the discarding you do in your deck, if that's enough, right? When you need it, you just need him 1 time, most likely. So yeah, the Blackbeard deck is really buffed in the end. We have Teach, 7 cost, 8k power Teach, SR of the set. Completely different from the Teach I came up with. So activate May, you can rest this character. Keep to 1 character with the cost of 3 or less. So this can be one of your own characters too, if you want to draw a card, I guess. And then on KO, add up to 1 black card from your trash to your hand. Okay. Oh, it's not even leader locked or type locked. So you can run this in any deck. What the heck? Maybe this isn't even a Teach card. But yeah, this is basically Jack, right? From OPO8. Does the same thing. Jack's a lot stickier. He's an 11 cost on board. And he even cycles you a card. But yeah, when he dies, he doesn't replace himself. But yeah, it's not leader locked. That's interesting. But yeah, having a Jack effect is not bad, right? If you, on the turn prior, play out a Van Augur. On 5 Van Augur, and then on 7, you play that Teach, you can KO a 6 cost this way. So that's pretty sweet. And yeah, it's something to do on your 8 Dawn turn before your 10 drop. Just having something you can KO out. If you have this and Van Augur out before your 10 drop turn, you can pop a 6 cost every turn and then your 10 drop will protect your characters. So that's pretty good. That's really good actually. I'm wondering if any other leaders could use this card better, right? Like in a Lucci deck, would you run this over Jack? It is searchable in the Blackbeard deck from Full OLED and King, This Is My Era and Lafitte. But I guess in like a Lucci deck, you can get access to on plays, right? So you can play Rebecca. Bring back this Teach from your discard. You play out the Teach. If Teach dies, you bring back Rebecca to your hand. Is this like a loop, right? Any black card, any cost. What the heck? So maybe like Rebecca Teach loop is the new way to play Lucci. This ended up being a Lucci buff. What the heck? But yeah, these cards are alright, right? This is a generic good card. I think Kuzan's going to be pretty good too. And then Katarina Devon is going to be played for sure. And then still on the fence, maybe this guy ends up being like cracked and I just don't know it. I just don't play enough Blackbeard to know. But yeah, I'm liking both of these starter decks so far, right? Both of these, I think they're both winners. Blackbeard is already kind of meta, so he's going to be even more meta. Hopefully this turns Purple Black Luffy into a meta deck. I think it's just what he needed. I kind of wish they played more into the on KO. I kind of wish they played more to the KO aspect of the leader, because they did release that Sanji a while back, right? That KO is a 5 cost. I wish there was more ways to synergize with this, but it looks like this is just like a mid-game slow down your opponent kind of tool. They ended up not printing any black cards that cost reduce for the deck, so yeah. I guess that's it for this video until they reveal more starter decks, and then I'll make a video on those, add it to my deck builder. And yeah, if you wanted to test these cards out early, you can use my like proxy maker. Let me show you. So you add the cards, and then there's like a print proxies button. You can print the proxy sheets like this, try out the cards. And yeah, as I shown on screen, you can use my tool to even brew your own list and export it as an image and share it if you'd like this or something, and then export the image, share it around. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you guys think of these 2 new starter decks. Do they save these decks? Is it making Blackbeard too powerful, or is it not enough? Let me know in the comments, and then subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Card Kaizoku.